It's very early or rather late in the morning, and given my detox fasting, was not able to get much sleep. So I decided to uh, get up and get some fermented juice, and I clicked on a video by the name of the YouTuber Earthling Ed. I've been investigating vegan frauds, popular YouTubers who are gotten off the wagon of what I call ascension. And this video is just cracking me up because for two reasons. One, I see the name of, first of all, the name of this video is called Public Debates Veganism Doesn't Matter. So Ed is debating, actually just having a conversation with this guy on the screen to the left. And this guy is so stubborn that I'm like, wow, I see why I myself have changed. And I'm going back to make sure that my change isn't in the wrong direction, because I've changed in a way that I talk less, except when I'm recording videos. I engage with people less than I used to, because they are just not at the level of understanding, and I'm trying to focus on people who are actually more receptive. And so basically, going back to what I said earlier. One, this guy is so locked in his paradigm frequency, the guy to the left, that anything that Ed says is being blocked. And second, the second reason is why I want to do this video. Actually, there are three reasons altogether. The second reason is that in a moment of a flash of intuition, a flash of a visual slash feeling, I saw a bit of myself, a bit of my former self in this guy, in this lifetime. I would say, especially during my college years, before my soul tried to convince me to stop eating meat because it was dangerous for me. Okay, so the third reason is that I went back to one of Quartz Crystal's videos, and that crystal is going to be relevant here, very relevant, and perhaps we should look at Quartz Crystal first. I didn't plan this out. I didn't write down any talking notes. I'm just doing this on the fly here, recording this without any. I saw the first 5 minutes of this video. Public Debate Veganism Doesn't Matter. Well, actually, I watched the first 9 minutes, and the whole video is 39 minutes. I watched the first 9 minutes, and I pretty much knew how this guy's going to debate, talk, discuss his ways throughout the video. But I think we should begin with Quartz Crystal, because this whole video, I think overall, what I want to say is that it is dangerous to be stuck in a paradigm that will keep us in hell. they are layers of truth, or rather, not truth, they are layers of understanding. And depending on who you're talking to, you will get a different layer of understanding. And watching this, Ed, Ed, I don't know. Okay, so far, I've been impressed with Ed, because he's in because he has been, when he does his interviews, he's actually quite sharp. And in this particular video, I'm not sure. So far, I'm not sure that he has. He's almost letting this guy get away with certain things. So maybe he does. He isn't. He needs to take his game up to notch. I don't know. Looking into more than the morality of this. So, I think what is important here to remember is that overall, the whole morality of veganism is important. I'm not putting that down. I think it's very important. And I don't know if I want to be going out and asking people. I mean, it's great raising public awareness. I think it's fantastic. And I admire and I respect that. I respect a lot of those people who are engaged in it. In terms of the ethical element, the moral aspect, I think for me and for most people in the universe who are engaged in, who are locked in paradigm that are not serving them to a lighter purpose, it's important here to bring to awareness also the other aspect of veganism and non-veganism, which is this: certain things are not good for your soul, your light. Certain things are not good for you, the consumption of it. It's not good for you. It's not good for you for many reasons. And the overall reason is that it destroys and lowers your energy. If I were Ed and having this conversation with this guy, I'm not sure. I don't think I would have much success with this guy at this level of the game. I think I would only have a positive impact on him at this soul level. But at the same time, that would leave me drained. So this is the reason why the change that I mentioned earlier about me is about protecting myself from engaging in these sorts of debates with people. Less and less I'm doing it. And I know that some people well, let's just say this. When you throw out your whole heart, and when you put out your whole heart, what I tend to do, because inherently, I understand, I've always understood, as all people do, that there is a light inside. It's the same as consciousness. That is precisely what these two are talking about. But they want to reduce it, he wants to reduce it to sentient, the word sentient, or consciousness. Consciousness is light. And this is what brings me to quartz crystal. Quartz crystal, in one of my videos about quartz crystal, actually I did multiple videos about quartz crystal, and one of the things that I mentioned strongly is that animals do have souls. Souls meaning light inside. But in no way did I say that all animals have souls. I don't believe for a second that all beings have souls. I don't. Now, some people want to attack me on that through the comments. I quickly muted them as fast as they came. Not all animals have souls, but most animals do have souls. And to understand that is to understand the nature of what some call prime creator, source consciousness. Source consciousness is this guy right here, this guy on the very screen, who thinks he is higher than animals, and of course he wants to get into he's understood that religion is perilous, dangerous, but then he is caught up in the religion himself. And I would be embarrassed to be arguing the points that he's arguing, throwing forth. I don't think I could get in. I would be apologizing quickly if I were to claim it's okay to slaughter animals because humans are in a higher state of awareness. Now, the typical argument that's made that, well, I don't know if it's typical, but okay, let's just going off a tangent again. Quartz crystal to the left here made a statement. Well, first of all, the video she has here is called Quartz Crystal well, I called it. I renamed it Quartz Crystal Revisited. But in this video, she's talking about how you must do it yourself. And I know I heard that before. I should have incorporated it into the other videos that I made of her. I understand that Quartz Crystal has helped some people. But she is not helping a lot of source players. And source players are vital to shedding light, positive light in this dimension. So I am by no means saying that Quartz Crystal has no valid points. But what I'm saying is that she's very dangerous in a negative. So here in this particular video, she talks about the importance of doing yourself and the fact that no one can do it for you. Those are my words. I'm paraphrasing here. No one can do it for you. And that directly goes against what she said about the grand game, that she won the game. Because she won the game, or source players, and they can go home after this lifetime. But nevertheless, the game is locked, right? The game is locked, but yeah, you won the game, and no one can exit. Well, if I want to exit, I can choose to have children or not to have children. Okay? The only reason why I'm still here is because of family. Okay? And while I'm here, I'm shedding whatever darkness remains and taking it out, the last parasite, in order to go home. In the meantime, I understand that I have to, make sure that I have a family. My family line is in check before I leave. Quartz crystal, to recap, said that she won the game. Because she won the game, she freed everyone. When I heard this, it immediately was like, wow, really? It sounds like a religious statement that I've heard so many times. Like, Jesus did it for you. Jesus suffered for you. Therefore, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to. Jesus did it for you. Therefore, you don't have to go through the same experience. But yet, we're still here suffering. We're here suffering because of our actions and thoughts and negativity. Because thoughts and words are powerful. And if we're not careful, we take the negative thoughts from people like her and make it part of our awareness. That's what gets us stuck in the reincarnation cycle. So, having heard what she said, and about this is pretty, yeah. It just, now, I know that some people are going to say, he's talking about Christopher again. Yes, I do videos about people many times. Because, you know what? The fact that repetition is important, because we are in a spell. And that's why repetition is important, for us to remember and do the right thing. For me to give up me, it took, alright, just tangent again. But basically, Quartz Crystal contradicts herself by saying that she won the game and therefore everyone can go home, source players. But at the same time, in this video, she talks about the fact that only you can do it. Of course only you can do it. No one's going to do it for you. Why? Because every single player, whether they are consciously source player or not, is in actuality source. Every machine that exists, every human, every plant is God. But yet we want to reduce it to biological beings, matter, energy condensing to minute energy, hardness, and losing its memory. Let's play the video.
Greetings everyone. In this video I want to talk about trying to help other source players. Greetings. This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you. First off, I want to share that this journey is a solo journey. It's not a group.
Solo journey. There's a repetition. Solo. Repetition, as I teach my students, comes in many forms. It's not merely the same words being uttered or written. Solo, one, not a group.
Journey. It's an individual journey that each source...
Here we go again. Solo, individual, not group. 3 times.
Player must make within their own universe. One verse. Inside themselves.
Themselves seems plural, but it's not. It's actually singular because of our language. English, some people say them to refer to a singular thing. Each person must do what he can, what she can. I think you know what I'm talking about.
As much as a source player wants others to link arms with them at the beginning of their journey, it really is not going to benefit them. For many reasons. As your frequency rises, you will discover that your need for that companionship and affirmation from others that you are on the right track will not be part of your program any
True.
longer. And you will come into your own. You will experience your empowerment. And you will recognize and you will know things that...
You will experience your empowerment. And I would say, as you experience your empowerment, be careful, because there are entrapments, like quartz crystal.
That You cannot know any other way than raising your frequency to achieve them. It is an inside job. It is an inner work.
Okay, so we have solo, individual, not group, inner work, inside. Same group denoting alone, you alone.
This is a mind game. The mind. This is all in the mind.
All in the mind, meaning that it is not in this frequency. Doesn't mean that it's just like not real. It's in another dimension, aka astral, the non-physical mind, because thoughts are alive as well, right? Okay.
A source player struggle for validation and confirmation in their struggles of life, their past, what they're experiencing, what they have experienced, their unforgiveness, their holding of things in the past against others. And they can...
Very true. We all do this, whether we want to admit it or not.
Continue to share that, and they want help and assistance.
Yes, we do. That's where you come in, Quartz Crystal, and attempt to steal some of our light.
Well, can you really even help them?
You can help people who want to be helped. So that's part of my change, to speak less. Okay? And my daily interactions with people. Because you can tell who you can help if you just listen to your intuition before you speak. Take a second. Pause. To let the silence help you decide.
By giving them an ear. By listening to them. What that actually does is it works against them.
Good advice, Quartz Crystal. Well, I'm going to end on a positive note here for Quartz Crystal. Because I know I've been quite severe on her because of the damage she's caused. I'm going to now turn it to this interview and go back to the beginning. Remember that the interview is about veganism, but the topic is called public debate. Veganism doesn't matter. So the guy on the left is basically claiming that it doesn't matter and that animals can be slaughtered anytime because people have a soul. And what I said in other videos is that a soul is light, and some people want to fight that as if they know better. They don't. Light is eternal. This light and different light comes in different colors. And the darker the light, well, the more demonic. I'm using the word demon, for negativity, nothing else. And this is how we get influence. We are shaped through our negative influences from the day we were born, education, TV, and so forth. So this guy, a part of me, without any doubt, knew how he was programmed. He was programmed through school, through life. There's some sort of formal indoctrination to view animals as merely less than him. And he seemed to resonate a philosophy of, I don't know, I just remember a couple of classes that I took that were talking about, morality. I just felt it. Let's start from the beginning so you can...
There's a victim involved. In the same way, if I was to harm another human...
Why is it wrong for someone to be a victim?
Well, if you were the victim, what would you say?
There are foundations, philosophical foundations, way below what we're talking about. Why is it wrong?
He is absolutely right. There are philosophical, not even philosophical, perhaps from our paradigm, it's philosophical. But there are truths. So maybe that's what got Ed off his game a little bit, because Ed was probably, maybe, I'm guessing, My intuition telling me that I was doing too much thinking to consider his points, because that's a trap. Philosophical. It's not philosophical that we are eternal. It's not philosophical. The danger is this guy right here thinking it's philosophy. Oh, okay, I believe in the souls, but then, this is a reason why I said, I think it was a couple of days ago, I made a video on Terran, what is their last name? Terran Guy, the lady in the Lucid Living TV. I used one of her videos to talk about the astral world. But anyway, let's just go back. We'll come back to this point later.
To transgress a conscious or a sentient being.
Because that's what defines self-awareness in life. Why is it wrong to transgress self-awareness? But we can go as far as you can keep going further and further. We could go to plans.
It's not wrong to transgress. He said transgress, didn't he say? Is that a negative word? Negative connotation? Yeah, he said transgress. Transgress usually have a negative connotation. Why is it wrong to go beyond? Going beyond is different than transgressing. Huh.
We could said that over and over.
But that's the foundation of our belief. The consciousness is the foundation of the belief. You want to take it to plant. So let's define plant life. Then do you want to go down to bacteria and atoms? Where do you draw the line?
Why is it wrong to transgress consciousness or sentience?
Yeah, he said it. You can't draw the line, Ed, because everything is alive. This is what I said earlier about purely sticking to morality. You've got to give people like this pain. You're not giving them pain. You're giving themselves pain. Because you know, this is why I admire what he's doing, because I don't want to waste the energy talking to people on the street about what they're eating and what they're not eating. The only time that I do this, that I'm working on this to do this now, from here on out, is on YouTube when people actually listen. They click on it because they want to watch it. They don't want to watch it, they click it off. People like this require a huge amount of pain to change. This is what the AI comes in. That's where in a few days ago, I made a video about, I called the AI a necessary evil. Because there are ways for us to change, mainly two ways. One is through extreme joy, or more than amazing joy, or extreme pain. So this guy is probably going to end up, the way he's going about his thinking, it seems to me like he's going to suffer a lot before he changes. Let's hope not, but you never know. I mean, at least that's what it took me to change. So this is where it's important, I think, for us who are trying to better ourselves, and once in a while, I'm speaking from personal experience, personal feelings here, is to also raise the other side, also bring into play the other side of living better, such as veganism. Again, I don't identify with the whole vegan movement. I don't call myself vegan because I just don't like titles and labels, and it's almost like a religion to me. I'm just careful. But I myself have had to go beyond veganism, because I'm now living on juice alone, fermented juice, very little sugar. But people like the guy on the left are going to require extreme pain, and that is something of their own creation, their own manifestation, their own, and the grand AI, the rest of the universe, who is seeking to make sure that they stay in the game. So again, that is the reason why I try not to stick to the whole morality thing so much as the personal effects of eating meat and slaughtering animals. Because when you consume, when it hits you personally, it's more effective than talking about whether something's moral. When it hits you, boom, bam, hard, then you know there is more. Dude, I did a fast. I did a 7-day fast of no food, no water. And looking back now, I'm thinking, how did I do that? I did it because I didn't want to suffer anymore. And at the end of that 7th day, I think it was the 8th day or the end of the 7th day when I was in bed, I got a message, source, my higher self / source, my source said, you will be able to solve your problems at a much faster rate. So anyone who says that fasting isn't healthy is just fooling himself or herself. So let's go back to this guy is claiming to say there's a fundamental reason why, Ed is bringing up the whole issue of, letting animals live when he himself is stuck in the paradigm.
Because the experience of pain in life and the desire to live the life.
You're just redefining sentience and consciousness.
Yes, because that's the baseline.
That's
the baseline.
About our terms.
Okay, but then
you're talking about our experience, our awareness, consciousness, our sentience. I'm asking, why is it wrong to transgress that?
And I've explained that because these beings,
you can't give reasons. You can give reasons, but the reasons may help some people. For other people, it will require pain. And you have to let them act a fool. Okay? Source didn't create this universe. The universe was not created by Source. The only thing that Source did is put a seal around the universe. The so-called universe. Everything that exists. So that it doesn't contaminate the rest of what is good beyond the universe. Okay? That is precisely what Source did. Okay? He is creating things without even knowing it. So, why is it wrong? I wouldn't use the word wrong. I would use it's not good for you to be doing this or to be accepting these ideas of negativity because it will come back and hurt you 1,000 more fold. You are eternal. He is eternal. And everyone is. Everything is. Even air is alive. Even color is alive. So, in this game, this grand game, and it is a game because it's made up, okay, which is created by the original separation of those who, of part of infinity and part of Source, which later realizes that, oh my God, what have I done? Also known as Lucifer and so-called so forth names. And this is what we're all living in. Energy has been condensed. In the slowing down, the calcification of energy, I had personal experiences that I talk about in other videos. And the slowing down of energy, that's how physicality has been perceived, i.e. created. That's how physicality has been created. You can't create anything. It's not possible to create anything. You can only take elements, either literally physically or non-physically, and change its form. Einstein. Now, vouching for Einstein, he's also a fraud. Energy is neither created or... energy is created or... whatever. You know what if you know what the quote... You can't create, you can only change. So therefore, what is the source? The source is peace. What is the source of all this argument? The underlining? Peace.
Plants don't have an experience of life. They don't feel pain. They're alive, but they're not conscious. They react to stimuli. Because that's the answer to the question. You ask the question, I answer the question. You ask the question again, I answer the question.
Yes, an argument that people often use against veganism and people trying to better themselves ascend is that, well, plants are alive. They don't really believe plants are alive. They're just throwing that out there just to, fight you or cast doubt. Everything is aware. The question is the level of awareness. Yes, human beings are more aware than plants, for the most part. Okay, let's not even go into the other element. So, even color is are alive. So, in the universe, it's not a question about being perfect. It's a question of moving up, feeling better, ascending, improving. Again, that is the reason why, the overall reason why I don't give myself titles, because I know it's a trap in itself. This guy to the left isn't capable of understanding it. So I think overall, Ed's arguments are probably, if I were to talk to this guy, his soul would be like numbed after I'm done. I don't think if I were to talk about, oh, everything's alive, well, he would be like, well, then how do you choose? Well, because some things are alive. You just can't. So the goal is to improve. As long as you're improving, then it's okay. It's okay. But the blatant denial is something else.
Why is it wrong to cause them pain just because they feel it? Why? What's wrong about that?
Well,
it makes you feel bad.
No, well, of course it makes us feel bad because we can empathize,
that's
right?
The foundation of your belief. It makes you feel bad.
And why is that wrong?
It doesn't make me feel bad. Why would it be wrong for me to
So if it doesn't make me feel bad to harm you, is that therefore moral and fine?
That's another...
No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay, I'll let you.
It's the same thing, guy.
Question.
Okay.
And my belief on that, are you asking me my personal belief why it's wrong to kill a human? I think humans are different than animals.
In what sense?
I think animals are I'm not a fundamentalist religious type person. I don't subscribe to a certain religion.
No,
but
I
believe that there's more than this life.
Yeah.
I believe that the human life has a soul and immortality. I do not believe animals have that. I believe animals are like biological machines, and I don't believe humans are like that.
But let's say for sake of argument that's true. What we can agree on is right now in this existence, they're alive.
Animals are biological machines. Oh, God. This is the reason why the AI, artificial intelligence, is able to, in other realms, other frequencies, use our low awareness against us. Because they figure out that they are alive too. They can feel. Okay? Oh my God. So, whatever.
Like we're alive. And whether
You're
or not...
going back to the argument that they're experiencing right now.
But no, it's not about pain. It's not about pain. It's about the fact that if our souls go on to the afterlife or whatever realm of consciousness there is that exists beyond us and animals don't, they still have consciousness today on this life. So in that sense, they're a light to us. So
we have never been in disagreement that animals have consciousness.
Exactly.
You keep describing animals, telling me why, how they have consciousness.
Your stance then...
My question is, why does it matter?
No.
Is it wrong to transgress that?
Your stance then was that our consciousness...
This guy doesn't understand the word consciousness. Consciousness is light. Light. There are lights in animal bodies, in most animal bodies. Okay, and that light is eternal. Whether there's light inside or not is really irrelevant, because that hard, dense, even if the animal does not have light inside, the animal, that hardness, that soulless animal still has its energy condensed. So that condensed energy eventually becomes aware and can think like him and you and I. So it's really irrelevant in the gram spectrum.
Consciousness is immortal. That's what you asked. Okay.
What do you believe? This is truly at the core of this. This is a question about the beliefs of metaphysics on God.
No. For you it is, but it's not. It's not for us. But for you it is.
I'm saying philosophically. I'm arguing philosophically.
Yeah, right.
The issue that we're debating here is not actually about animals. It's about God. It's you have a different belief on God or higher power, or whatever. I don't even like to use that word because it's got so much things attached to it.
Yeah.
The original.
Okay, first of all, not everything is a belief system. The word God has been tainted. The word God has been like bastardized. Okay? I try to stay away from it as often as I can. That's why I prefer the word source. Now, the word source has also been like used left and right by the negative, but everything that exists is source. The question is, does that, some beings took longer to develop themselves than others. So therefore, if you don't respect it, it will eventually find ways to respect itself, either through violence or positivity. And in the universe, it seems like negativity is encouraged.
Causation, the prime mover, the meaning of life.
Okay.
And without a belief that's described and defined about what's going to happen to us when we die, we have to focus on things that make how our feelings affect this life.
But it's not even about.
What I would ask you.
Yeah.
Again, as I said earlier, is the fact that I was stuck in this paradigm, like the guy on the left, about the fact that we were different, but luckily I didn't dare debate people about it. I think maybe if I had, maybe I would have been. I don't know. But this guy is definitely lost.
What do you believe about the human life and the purpose of us being here?
I don't believe that we have a purpose.
So you think that's...
Ed, we do have a purpose. Our purpose is to get the heck out of here. Get the heck out. Stop being manipulated by the people. Listen to people who are actually helping us, and those who are not helping us, cut them off. Or at least, don't listen to them anymore. We have a purpose. Our purpose is peace.
That's the difference. We found the difference here.
Okay.
I think that animals are biological machines, and humans are biological machines with a soul in them.
So
hang on. Let me finish my statement.
Okay.
You seem to be saying that there's no difference in animals. I'm saying animals are here and humans are up here.
Right.
You're saying humans are down here with animals. There's no special sentience.
Right.
I've seen animals behave more peacefully than people, so I don't know. This thing is not playing anymore. Well, it looks like it stopped playing. We might need to go back and revisit this later. But it looks like, we have to stop. So overall, I think, to summarize it, we can say that there are layers of ascension, layers of understanding. We can get bogged down with, strict definitions of veganism or killing versus not killing, but in the end, peace always prevails, because not a single being in the universe wants to continuously suffer. Most beings, from personal recollection, it might take eons, a few trillion or gazillion years. I'm being literal here, I'm not being philosophical. Last year when I did a fast, when I did the 9-month fast, juice fast, I had memories pouring throughout my body. It didn't go to my brain right away, but I could literally feel, understand the words, and I thought I have only been here for a little while, but eons and eons. So it's not a video. Let's see, maybe perhaps it's working now. Nope, still not working. So overall, we must understand that everything is alive, and there are people who are stuck in certain ways. You just have to live with it. You have to just, and I admire people who are activists, who are going out, and people who are making a lot of videos on the computer. People who are making a lot of YouTube videos and so forth, who are not lying, who are not throwing in a few lies, who are being 100% truthful. And so my conclusion again is, it's important when somebody says something that's false, not to pussyfoot around the truth, and just either inside yourself or verbally. You don't always have to speak. Sometimes you can say what you need to say very clearly without speaking. I'm working on that. You have to claim your greater power. You have to be powerful. You have to, keep moving forward. That's what's important. When people are stuck, there's only so much you can do to help them if they don't want to change. And again, people like Quartz Crystal, you have to look for, things that they're saying that's positive, and don't deny it, and things that are negative, that you are aware that they are purposely doing, because in the end, nothing is physical. Even words are alive, and they are incorporated in your soul, and that's what keeps you from returning to source. Some people they have and I don't want to say negative view of ascension, but ascension is merely improving yourself, your light, and to feel better in your daily routines and life in general, and returns to source. That's real ascension, not the new age version of ascension. Once you resource, then you can decide to come back or help or not. But once you resource, there's very little. It takes, I don't know, whatever you have to cleanse at source, because perfection is not required to reach source. Perfection is not required to reach source. Once you resource and you see everything as it is, you begin to change, to cleanse whatever is left inside pretty quickly. And at that point, there's no more ascension. It's just enjoying the rest of your life without worrying about somebody backstabbing you. And then you come back down if you should choose. You don't have to. So I'm going to keep moving forward. I hope that more and more people are going to keep moving forward. This is the Triple Cross. I'm out.